Hi, and welcome. This is video 5 on your credit report, your credit score, and collection agencies. We're going to give you information here that hasn't been released before. This is from how the collection agencies work and exactly what you can do to protect yourself. Everything you need to know. So right now we're going over the credit bureaus. The most important things I wanted to bring up at the beginning of this video is a lot of times credit bureaus can be mismatched. That means somebody else with a similar name or birthday, or similar name and birthday, because it's all computerized and because the only thing that's like for sure different between every different person is the social insurance number, and since a lot of the time creditors don't ask for it, or people don't give it, and legally they can't force you to give your social insurance number, so that's why that happens. So when you get your credit report, you want to make sure everything on it is yours, and you want to make sure if there is something on it that's not yours, we gotta show you how to update it and how to make it so that doesn't happen again. Alright, so just to go right back to the beginning, the link on my website, it'll give you the information you need to get your credit report. So you're going to print out this form and you're going to print out this form, or you can just call the phone numbers on the form and they will send you your credit reports. Okay, so that's how you get your credit report. If it turns out there's something wrong on your credit report, a mismatch like I said, or there's something on there that you dispute that shouldn't be on there, or there's something on there where it's past the statute of limitations and it shouldn't be on there anymore, then these are the forms you're going to need to get that information updated and taken care of. So that being said, I'm going to go real quick just from the beginning. So collection agencies should never force you to pay, harass you, yell, use profanity, threaten to sue you. Chances are, if you're getting called more than 3 times a week, they're already breaking the law. So the first thing we want to do is stop them from calling you, right? Because there's no point in them calling you until all the information is there and you know that the debt's valid, right? So what you want to do is send them this pre-written letter. All you got to do is click on it, fill it out and print it out, name and which collection agency. If you don't have a printer, or even if you just want to use this version, this is the version that I made up myself, and I like the best. It seems to scare the agencies off a little bit better. So basically you're going to just please accept this official request that all further correspondence be by mail. So as soon as they receive that, they're not allowed to call you anymore. You also put in there you're sending this to the provincial ministry. So if they do try and call you, there's no way they can claim the letter never got sent because it's getting sent 2 places. I also recommend that you send it registered. So the moment you see that it's received, you know that they're not supposed to be able to call you anymore. And if they do, they're already breaking the rules. A lot of collection agencies are blatant in breaking the rules. I've worked for companies where they yell and swear at the collectors, and it's all based about how much money they get. They don't care about and whether the collectors are harassing people. It's a really bad system, and the only way to protect people is to make sure everybody has this information. And the problem is, because it's such a personal matter, the people that really need this information the most, they're the ones that they're not going to be able to ask for it, right? Like, people could, you don't even know, right? It could be my mom, it could be my dad. Somebody's getting harassed by these people, and they're twisting these people around, and they don't know where to get help. So we want to make it really easy. And what you can do, even if you don't have any problems with collection agencies yourself, the information I'm sharing with you is really helpful. It can make sure that you don't get any of those credit mismatches, so nobody else's information ever gets mixed up with yours. It can help to make sure everything on your credit is correct. And also, just by sharing this information on a Facebook link, you don't know how many of your friends or family you could be helping, right? Because now they have the information they need. The moment they get the collection agency gets that letter, they're not allowed to call anymore, period. So the harassment stops right there. And I've also put information on all these links is how to complain for each one of these provinces and territories. Again, it's just a form that has to be printed out and filled out and sent. And chances are, if the collection agencies are calling over and over, they're calling more than 3 times a week, they're using foul language, or sorry, I had to stop there for a second. So yeah, so what you're going to do is send them the letter. They're not going to call you anymore. When they do get the original signed contract and the date of last payment, and a lot of the times they can't. It's lost because it's been so long. In that case, they have no proof. There's nothing they can do. You know what I mean? It's done. And you can contact the credit bureau and tell them, look, they asked them for proof. They don't have it. It needs to be taken off, or at least in the meantime marked as a dispute. So you can mark anything on your credit bureau as a dispute. It'll just take the number of years specified from the date of last payment for it to actually fall off. Does that make sense, hopefully? So you start getting called by collection agencies, you send them the do not call letter, that stops the calls. You look at the rules for the province that you're in and try and find all the ones that they've broken. Get a copy of your Equifax Credit Bureau and your TransUnion Credit Bureau. Once they send you the contract, you can check whether it's still valid, and it'll also be listed on your Equifax or TransUnion. It'll say the date of the last payment on there. And if it's not on either of those credit bureaus, that means that that's definitely past the statute of limitations, and they shouldn't be collecting it. So you're going to learn a lot from your credit bureau. I'm going to go back and spend the rest of the time to just explain reading it again. So this is your information, this is previous addresses, employers. Really the most important thing to remember is every time you apply for credit, they're going to send your information to the credit bureau. And if there is any collection agencies looking for you, even if they're for debts that are not valid, they're going to all of a sudden start calling you again, right? So just be aware of that. I would get my credit bureau first, take a look at what's on there, right? So right here, they have inquiries. That tells you everybody that's been looking at the credit bureau. So for this person, they had Active Collections, Royal Bank, Canadian Tire, and Pacifica Bank. So the only collection agency was the one, and they've already paid that off, so they don't have to worry. Any other debts they had, so this person had $75,150 in debts, and all of that was erased because of the bankruptcy. So whatever judge he had a judgment, that's what made him finally go bankrupt, is somebody sued. And it makes a lot more sense, especially if you owe $75,000, go bankrupt. Just it's going to take you forever to pay for that, right? And as you can see, even if you go bankrupt, you can start rebuilding your credit right away. You can get a secured credit card, right? So go to the bank, you say, I want a secured credit card for whatever amount you want, $500, $100. They're going to give you a credit card for that amount, and they're going to put $500 or $1,000 into an account as security. So once a year passes, or 6 months, depending on the province, they're going to release that money to you, but you're still going to have that credit card. And you'll be able to, as long as you keep making payments on it and it's in good standing, they'll keep increasing the limit. See, like this right here. They got this loan even though they had gone bankrupt, right? So that's something that you can see. Then we're going to look at the Equifax report. Equifax tend to be used a lot more common than TransUnion. So for example, banks, when you go to get your mortgage, they're going to be looking at Equifax. TransUnion seems to have more information for finding you, right? Because they'll have your previous employers, they'll have your previous addresses, all that stuff. So a collector has places to start, right? So I said last time, what they're going to do is they're going to call all your previous employers, try and get you that way. They're going to check all these addresses, if there's any numbers listed there, call them, talk to them. They're going to try and call everybody with the same last name in any of the cities that you've lived in. And then finally they're going to go online and they're going to try searching you on Google or any of the online Facebook. I've got a whole list of websites that they can use to find you, and it's actually scary. Go through some of these websites. My favorite one is PITL, and it finds most of the people I'm looking for very quickly. A lot of people have put all their information out there, and if you're in the United States, it's even worse, because over there all information is public record. There's companies that sell SIN numbers, that sell everything, and it's completely legal. In Canada, we still have privacy, but in the States it's completely gone. So anyway, this is the Equifax credit report. It's for somebody different. So this is an example of a business credit report. I should have looked at that first. But generally it works the same way as a TransUnion. It'll just have all the debts that the person owed, all the inquiries on there, and TransUnion tends to have items that the Equifax won't have in sense of debts. There's some debts that the creditors only report to Equifax. So it's really important for you to have both your Equifax and your TransUnion. And that way you know everything. You know everything that's on your credit bureau. Really basic. It's in good standing. It's in good standing. This one, see, they've gone, they're one payment, now they're two payments, now they're three payments. If they go any further, then they're in bad debt. It's now a bad debt. You can't erase that. You can't go back into good standing. All you can do is update either that it's disputed now, that it's been settled, or it's been paid. But it's still going to show as a bad debt on your credit bureau. I hope that's been helpful. I'm going to continue the series, and we're going to give you information on everything. So how mortgages work, where to get financing, what types of debts you want to pay and what types you want to settle, credit counseling companies, which ones are scams, which ones are real, bankruptcy, is it in your best interest, or are you better off paying the loans? There's so many situations and so many different things that you need to be aware of.